So, hello and welcome to the eighth English lesson for this round of Olive. Today we'll be talking about problems and solutions. So, welcome. Uh, as always, please introduce yourself in the chat. Join with the same name for every class so we can keep track of your attendance. Raise your hand or unmute and ask a question. Be patient with your classmates and me. I'm rubbish at typing and a few other things, and we're all at different levels. And do ask me to repeat something or slow down if you need me to. I sometimes get carried away and talk too fast. So please, if you need me to slow down and repeat something, I'm going to bet some of your classmates will be really grateful that you ask. So, thank you. Right. So, today we're going to look at the third conditional. Oops, I put these in the wrong direction. All right, that's all right. So last week, as you recall, we looked at the first conditional. So if my train is cancelled, I will take the bus. So that one is built with the present simple and the verb, the helping verb will with the base verb. So the condition will, present simple plus will is the first conditional. This is what I will do to respond to a problem in the future. Okay. If something happens, this is what I will do. If it is sunny, I will work in the garden. If it is raining, I will read a book. Very positive. Second conditional, we're looking at hypotheticals. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Okay. So in that, we're going to, so this is a hypothetical. This is a hope or a dream. So we have the past simple for the first clause for the condition and would with the base for the result. So we did those last week. This week, we're doing the third conditional. So I've got a little introduction to this. And I'm going to let this lovely lady on BBC Learning English tell you more. So, oh, right. Let me see what I didn't do. I'm going to have to change the share so that I get the audio in. See, this is why I always say it's important to let yourself make mistakes because that's how we learn. So now let's try this again. Ready?
Hello, this is Georgie from BBC Learning English, and in this video we're looking at how to imagine a different past using something called the third conditional. Let's get started. I interviewed my colleagues in the office. First, I asked them how they got to work.
I got to work today by bus and then tube.
So Neil is at the office. He arrived on the underground train, the tube. But I asked him to think back and imagine a different scenario. What would you have done if the tube had been cancelled?
Well, if the tube had been cancelled, I would have got a bus a bit further and then got a train.
So again, Neil arrived at the office successfully on the tube because the tubes were not cancelled. But we're imagining a hypothetical situation where the tubes were cancelled, and Neil has to imagine the consequences of that and what he would have done instead. Now, Phil took the overground train to work, but I asked him what he would have done if the trains had been cancelled, and Phil's response is very fast, but you've got the subtitles there to help you.
If the train had been cancelled, I would have got a different train, which means I'd have to get two trains, and it takes about an extra 15-20 minutes.
Quick note on pronunciation there. So usually we shorten I would have got to would have got, but Phil shortens it even more to I woulda got. So the third conditional is for imagining a different past, which means it's useful for talking about regrets, things we wish we could change about the past. I asked my colleagues what they regretted.
So I had a friend in primary school and now she has children, but I'm not in touch with her. So yeah, I wish that I'd stayed in touch with her. If I'd stayed in touch with her, then I would have known her children. It would have been nice to know her kids, but I don't.
Beth says she wishes she'd stayed in touch with her friend because if she had stayed in touch with her friend, she would have known her children. So we have a typical third conditional structure with an if clause and a result clause, and then we have this other common structure where we use wish to express that we want something to be different. Let's hear more examples.
This is a regret that a lot of people probably have, but I wish I had studied harder at school.
I wish I'd travelled to more countries on my gap year.
Lastly, we can use the third conditional to blame someone for something they did.
Why weren't you at the meeting?
Because you didn't tell me about it. If you told me about it, I would have been there.
George is saying that it's Andrew's fault that he didn't go to the meeting because Andrew didn't tell George about the meeting. Now, pause the video and think about which structures are used to make a third conditional. In the if clause, we use the past perfect, and in the result clause, we use would plus have plus a past participle. To recap, the third conditional is for imagining a different past. If the trains had been cancelled, I would have got the bus. To talk about your regrets, if I'd had piano lessons, I would have learned how to read music. And to assign blame. If you'd told me about the meeting, I would have been there. Don't forget to check out our website and download the free worksheet to help you practice. See you next time.
Right. So I hope that was any questions on that. Let's try some practice. Okay. Oh, I need to put this away and get the PowerPoint back. That's it. Yay. So let's try a bit of practice. So, which of these sentences is a third conditional sentence? Can you find it? Right. You've got it. You've got it. Excellent. Right. So, and here's an extra. Okay, yeah. What is the structure made for it? Excellent. Excellent. And yes, to imagine a different past. Really well done. Good. Good. So, what are the other answers? So let's do an extra one. Maybe, so again, what about the first one? What about A? So B is definitely our third conditional. Well done. We've got that right. So B is our third conditional. So that's our current one. I'll just highlight that. Excellent. This is its structure. Definitely correct. And this, oops, sorry, this is its purpose. Well done. So, which conditional is yes? Okay, if I win the money, I will take my friends out for a meal. Yes, that follows our structure, the first conditional. Perfect. If I won the lottery, I would take my friends out for the meal. Yeah, that is the second conditional. Well done. So once again, down here on the descriptions. So present simple plus present simple is which conditional? And look at the examples up above. Exactly. That's first. And past simple and would is yes. Excellent. Fantastic. So, how about the meanings when they're used? Likely future situations. If I win the money, I'll take my friends out for a meal. Yes. Okay. One person has it. So which one matches the first? There we go. So this is a bit tricky. General truths, that means something that is always going to be true versus yes, exactly. That's the second conditional, is general truths. So, and the first conditional is about future situations. If I win the money, that means there's a chance it's going to happen, right? If I win, I've played the lottery because I don't understand math, and I'm hoping that I will win the money. Or maybe I've joined a raffle, and if I win, this is what I will do. Okay, better odds in a raffle than a lottery, but okay. So the answer is general truths is the would statement. So that is second conditional. And talking about likely future situations, that is the first conditional. So if I won the lottery, I'd take my friends out for a meal, but I don't play the lottery. So it's a condition that would be true if I did any of the things that would make it come true. If I win the money, then I will take. So that means I'm already in. It's a future possibility versus a general truth. Always, if I win money, yeah, I probably will take my friends out for a meal. So, all right. So we've got all of these wonderful ways of talking. Are there any questions on this at this point? All right, I'm going to clear the screen so we can move on. Yep, here we go. Here we go. So, all right. So well done on that. Now, uh, one last uh, one last quiz. Can we put, can you put these into the third conditional? All right. So we're talking about the past, possibly a regret.
Can I say?
Mhm.
If I had studied more when I was younger, I would have passed all my exams.
Excellent. Absolutely right. Shifting my curtains for a second there. Right. Very good.
Yeah, it has been done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. How about the next one? Don't worry, my love. Welcome.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
If
Yeah,
if he had if he had eaten more vegetables, he would have grown taller.
very good. Very good. Can someone else? Yes. Can who'd like to do the next one? Number two. Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah, please.
if she hadn't moved to Spain, she would have not learned Spanish. Yeah.
Okay, that one is a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, with the once you put the negatives in there, it gets a little more complicated. So you had the first one right. Uh, so if she had not moved to
She would
Spain,
have she would not have. She,
and yes,
she would not
she
have,
would
yeah. I
not.
made a mistake. Yeah, she would not have, yeah.
No, that's she would not have what?
Learned.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Really good. Um, excellent. So yeah, so it's the past perfect there, which is extra challenging when it's a negative. Where do we put the negative? Oops, I don't know why I thought would learn. There we go. And how about the last one? Who's got an answer to that? Good, good, Ellie. Anyone else? Mm. And what's the, yeah, had paid. You've got it right. Exactly. Well done, Ellie. Ooh, oh, yes. Tension. And the last part would have
I would
not.
have not lose my keys.
Yes. And there's a question, where does that not go?
I would
Do we,
not lose my keys.
yeah, we would say, I would not. I would not have lunch. Yes, Mohammed lost. I would not have lost.
Or wouldn't have.
Yeah, or wouldn't. Yes, you could. We can always use the contraction. Um, though actually, just so that you know, if you are speaking, definitely the contraction. If
I
you are
wouldn't have
writing
lost my keys.
for, if you're writing for academia, okay, if you're writing an academic paper or formal language,
Yes,
you
not
will
correct.
not use the, yeah, then
Not
don't
correct.
use the contraction. Yeah, that's right. Excellent. It's good to know that both are correct, but we use them for different things. So, very good, Samuel. Well done. Right. So, there we are. We now know how to regret the past. We know how to imagine a different past. Um, and I suppose possibly blame somebody for our problems. So, very well done. Let's listen to another problem. Okay. So, this time we're going to listen to a BBC 6 Minute English about smartphones. And What? Yeah. Okay. I'll click on the right one eventually. There we go. All right. So we're going to listen to this and see, and then build our way into using this language to talk about this article. So let's start here.
6-Minute English
from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is 6-Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Beth.
Can I ask you something, Beth? Beth? Hello, Beth. Are you listening?
Oh, sorry, Neil. I was checking my Instagram and Facebook and just sending this email. Done. Okay, what did you want?
Well, I wanted to ask if you're getting addicted to your smartphone, but clearly the answer is yes.
Actually, Neil, I am worried about my smartphone use, and it's not just me. Concerns are growing about the negative effect smartphones are having on adults and even more on children.
Studies show that girls who spend more time on social media are more likely to be anxious or depressed. And smartphones have also been linked to delayed brain development and poor sleep.
Even so, around 60% of British 8 to 11-year-olds have a smartphone. So in this programme, we'll be asking, are kids better off without a phone? And of course, we'll be learning some useful new vocabulary too.
But first, put your phone away, Beth, because I have a question for you. The US has one of the highest levels of smartphone use, but according to a recent survey, how long does the average American 11 to 14-year-old spend looking at a screen every day? Is it A, 5 hours, B, 7 hours, or C, 9 hours?
I'll guess American teens spend 5 hours a day on screens.
OK, Beth, I'll reveal the answer later in the programme. BBC journalist Myra Anubi has a 9-year-old daughter who desperately wants her own phone. But Myra isn't convinced, as she explained to BBC World Service programme People Fixing the World.
I'm worried about how much time she'll spend on her own device and what she might even see there. I mean, she's only 9 at the end of the day. But at the same time, I don't want her to feel left out because some of her friends already have smartphones and there's a chance that she'll miss out on play dates or kids' trends, cat videos, or online chats with her besties. So I'm torn between wanting her to be in our world and also letting her be in her own mini world with her friends.
Myra is worried about her daughter and says at the end of the day, she's only 9. Myra uses the phrase at the end of the day to mean after everything is considered.
Myra's daughter wants to chat with her besties, her best friends. But Myra worries she'll get hooked on social media, see harmful content, or spend too long online. Myra is torn between letting her daughter get a phone and not. If you're torn between two things, you can't decide between two possibilities, leaving you feeling anxious.
Parents like Myra are having to make an impossible choice. Either give their children potentially harmful devices or risk alienating them from their friends who do have smartphones.
In February 2024, mums Daisy Greenwell and Claire Fernyhough started a WhatsApp group encouraging parents to not give their child a smartphone until the age of 14, with no social media access until 16. Soon, the phone-free group of families grew into a movement, Smartphone-Free Childhood. Here, mum Daisy Greenwell explains more to BBC World Service's People Fixing the World.
Everyone I spoke to said, yes, it's a nightmare getting your child a phone, but you've got no choice. You have to, because everyone else is doing it. You can't leave them on their own. So Claire and I decided to start a WhatsApp group to support each other. And I posted about it on social media and it went viral. The group was full, so we encouraged people to start one in your region, in your county, and they sprung up all over the country, right in front of our eyes. It was amazing. And now there's over 100,000 people in the UK who are in our community.
At the start, Daisy says it was a nightmare, a very unpleasant situation. Everyone else's kids had a phone and Daisy didn't want her children to feel left out. But soon more families got involved and the group went viral. It spread quickly and widely on the internet and social media.
Within months, new groups started up across Britain right in front of Daisy's eyes. If you say something happens right in front of your eyes, you're emphasizing that something surprising or unusual happened directly before you.
The Smartphone Free Childhood campaign has grown rapidly in schools, and there are now groups in 18 countries around the world, offering kids a circle of friends to play and chat with in the old-fashioned way, face to face. Okay, why don't you reveal the answer to your question, Neil?
Yes, I asked how long the average American teenager spends looking at a screen, and you guessed 5 hours a day, which was the wrong answer, I'm afraid, Beth. It's actually even longer, around 9 hours a day spent on screens. Okay, let's recap the vocabulary we've learned in this program, starting with the phrase at the end of the day, meaning after all the relevant facts have been considered.
Your bestie is slang for your best friend.
Someone who's torn between two things finds it difficult to choose between them, making them feel anxious.
A nightmare is a very unpleasant experience or event.
If a video or story goes viral, it spreads quickly on the internet through social media and email.
And finally, if you say something happened right in front of your eyes, you are emphasizing that something surprising or unusual happened directly before you. Once again, our 6 minutes are up. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
6 Minute English
from bbclearningenglish.com.
Right. So, what did you think of that article? Let's see. What did you and what can you remember from it? So here's a small. So what proportion of British 8 to 11-year-olds have a smartphone? We can go back to the transcript to find the answer. 60%? Does everyone agree? Who was listening closely? I was listening, but I think I missed this number. Right. Got a couple of ideas. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let's look at these. Right. So we've all got bestie. That one's easy. Have we all got find it difficult to choose between two possibilities? Yeah, torn between. Really good. And what's the correct form of something viral? Yeah. Is it was? Did? Yeah. And really good. And what age should children have a phone? Oh, here, let's look at the transcript and double check. Really good. Yep. I think it was 14 as well. So it's a good challenge to see what we remember. Here, let's check the, oops. This is why I have to. So what percentage of, whoa, what was the answer for 8 to 11-year-olds with a smartphone? Was it 70? I missed that one too. Yep, 60. All right, excellent. Let's see. As far as our vocabulary, I think we were spot on with that. I'm really proud of you. Well done. So bestie is definitely a best friend. Torn between two choices. That's really bad. Or two opposing forces. And of course, when something has gone viral, in the past, it went viral. Very good. And yes, let's see. Let's double check that age. So the group wants them to have smartphones when they are, I think it was 14. Oh, wait a minute. Yes. So there we are, the age of 14. Great job, guys. Really well done. Excellent listening there. Really well done. So let's now take this issue. We've got problems and solutions. Let's talk about that. All right. Okay. Clear the screen so we can do more annotating. Oops. Where did it go? Come on. There we are. So let's think about, so what were the problems that the parents were faced with? What were some of the ways that we would talk about these problems? What were the, yes, Lily? And how did they solve it? Yep.
Spending almost 9 hours, yeah, on
Yeah.
a screen at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's amazing. 9 hours on a screen. Mhm. And what do you think? What did they think why is that a problem? Why did they think that was a problem? Hmm. You can feel free to just open your mic and
Yeah,
add a
because
comment.
it impacted their health,
Mhm.
and also it narrowed the span of
brain development.
yeah, attention. Yeah. Mental growth.
Attention
Attention
span.
attention span. Narrowing attention.
Excellent. Right. Feel free to either type things in or just talk. Really harmful contents. Exactly. That's another good one. Um, exposure to
For
harmful content.
contents, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, very good. Phone addiction. Yeah, really good. Really good. How about the social aspect? Brenda Savai, yeah. So what about the social aspect? Anything about that?
Isolation.
Yeah,
Social isolation.
yeah, very good. Really good. These are good. What we're doing is we're also building some really good collocations, the way the words fit together.
And
Yeah, it would make them
not
moody.
learning how to socialize.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to change the font so I can fit more in. Always a good thing. Let me bring that down to 18. There we go. Moody. I liked that. That came in the chat. And not learning how to socialize. Very important. Okay. And how about the solution to this? What solution did they come up with? And what solution do you think would be useful? So let's think about these solutions.
Not so forbidden forbidden children to access to phone, to phone or tablet, yeah, to having
Okay. So,
uh,
free social media campaign. Yep. Okay, did anybody see something ironic in all of this?
social media campaign.
Oops, yeah. If I could spell it correctly. Thank
Yeah.
you for checking. There we go. No E. There. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Taking students outside.
Engaging them in activities like just clubs, gym clubs.
Ah, clubs. Next to that. Absolutely fantastic. Do you
Make
think
them
this, yeah?
enthusiastic about reading books. Mhm.
Let's see, last one. Yeah, that word's never going to end. Maybe. Yeah, I think that might be right. I
It's,
told you about my spelling
it's
problem.
difficult.
See, this is why I'm all for. I'd love to see people overcoming adversity because this is my adversity.
Yeah.
I am so bad at spelling. Yes, that's true. Oh, excellent, Gazal. I like that very much. That's really important. Yes. I think setting whoops, there we go. Where did we go? Setting an example. Exactly for everything you said. I find it really ironic that the solution to keeping children out of social media was created on social media. So it's an interesting, yeah. And that's another thing. I think I agree. Group people based on their passions. That's really important. Um, but this also happens. Um, you can also find people that have the same passion, the same interests as you through social media. But I think it is an age thing. What do you think? I really like that group. Yeah, there we are. All my typing. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, it's really about the age limit. So, um, definitely. So it's a complex problem with a lot of interesting solutions. So we've got our problems and solutions here. Um, just to add one more piece to the mix. Yeah. I think you're right. School age. I was thinking about this because organizing playtime, organizing social interaction with others happens a lot on social media. But for young children, it should be mostly organized by their parents, I think, or maybe through school. Right. So think about, now remember, we've been looking at the third conditional today. So I have a question for you. Let's think about putting together something in writing for this, answering this question. If you had had a smartphone, and yes, I know this looks wrong, doesn't it? It actually is grammatically correct because remember, this is in the past perfect. So if I had would be the past. If I had, believe it or not, is correct. Always sounds wrong, but it's right. Yeah. Mala, that is a great suggestion. And actually, this is happening in Australia. But I'm inviting, so here, let me show you the article that I'm going to link to. I'm going to be giving you a link to this article as well. So we can talk about should the law be involved as well, but I'll give you that to take home. For now, how would your childhood have been different if you had had a smartphone? What do you think would have been different? Would some things be better? Would some things have been worse? How would it have changed your childhood? Just a chance to use that third conditional. So think about this. Wow, that's a good one, Mohammed. Mohammed. Ah, there we go. That's a good one. Oh, yes. Okay. Really good, Ellie. I like that one. Excellent. There we go. So we're just going to make a few changes with that. And there we go. Oh, wow. That's an interesting idea, Gazal. Love it. If I had a smartphone when I was younger, I would have learned more languages. Excellent. The cursor is never where I think it's going to be. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. There we go. Really interesting. Oh, I would have used it for my homework. Excellent. Wow, 5 languages. I am truly, truly amazed. Ooh. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I would have learned coding. Excellent. Communication. These are great. Homework is not countable. Okay, so I took the S off of there because it is not countable. You can have a piece of homework, an assignment, but homework is not countable. There we go. I would have learned coding. Yes. All of these things didn't exist when I was a child. You won't believe how old I am. When I was a child, I would have used it for light. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's a great one. Excellent. Very good. Right. Really well done. So, great. Once again, this is a great opportunity to write a paragraph about these subjects. Actually, we could talk about this now. So Australia is trying to make a law to stop children from using social media. So we can, yeah, let me paste this into the chat. There we go. Oh, yes, both are correct. Samuel, both learned and learnt are correct. It's one of those challenges of English that sometimes there are more than one form. Not sure if one of them is used more in England. I think learnt is more used in England, and learned is more used in America. Both spellings are correct. The pronunciation is exactly the same. Okay, so they're pronounced the same, but there are two spellings. I think the learned with the ED is American, and with the T is more English. So, yeah, like many things. So, I do recommend that you go to this article and maybe you can write. Here's a challenge for you. I would love for you to write a paragraph. Um, let's see. Okay, here we go. Write a paragraph explaining why do you think should the law be changed, be made to restrict smartphones and social media use for children. Okay, so we've looked at this from quite a lot of angles. You've got, and I'll add the, oops, I don't want to. Okay, and I'll keep trying there we go. Put in the link for the News and Level story as well. So, for homework, read this story about the Australia social media ban and answer this question. Should the law be made to restrict smartphones and social media use for children? Or do you think the parents' answer is the better one, just to create support groups for that purpose? What's your opinion on that? All right. So, and oh yeah, there's the further reading as well. So do you agree? Should it be a law? Should parents decide? All right. Thank you so much for joining me for this. Yeah, I think so too. There's good arguments in both ways. Um, so I'm gonna pause the I'm going to pause the recording now, and we'll take a quick break. Where's the break? Pause. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Rather than talking about this beforehand, let's look at our task. So, the importance of planning. The importance of planning. This is where our coherence and cohesion comes into. If you remember from the marking scheme, it's that there was a logical progression in the arguments. So that is one of the things that makes this so very, very important. Keep that away. There we go. So we're going to be looking at creating a plan that is worth writing from. Now, when you are writing, most people think of writing as that part where you're putting the pencil down or you're typing. And that's not where the writing begins. Writing begins with understanding what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and what order you're going to put it in. That's when the writing begins. Writing begins here. So if you put your pen to the paper as soon as you read that question, you are skipping the most important part of writing. So let's see. So today we're going to practice planning. We're going to read a question, make notes of our ideas and examples that we're going to use. And then we're going to put these things into an order. All right. And organize it. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do that a couple of times. And then we're going to unwrite someone's essay. So what were all of the things that this person thought about? And what were the notes that this person made in order to write the essay they wrote? Okay, so we're going to unwrite an essay. And this is something I really want you to do several times while you're working up to that IELTS exam. If you see unpick how someone else put together an answer, it will really help your process when you have to put the pieces together yourself. All right, so let's see. So once again, we're aiming for this essay structure. The introduction is going to tell us what you're going to tell us, right? The body paragraphs are the place where all the information happens. This is really the part, this is the plan. All right, the plan tells you what's in the body paragraphs. Once you know exactly what you're going to put into those two paragraphs, then you already know what to write in the introduction and you know what to write in the conclusion. So remember, the biggest part of the work is just putting together the ideas for that central portion, that body paragraph, those body paragraphs. So let's give this a try. So here is a recent exam question example. So what are we going to do? What do you remember from reading the question? What do we need to do when we read this question? What are the most important words? And what question are you actually being asked to answer? Excellent. Yay. Really good. Okay. So the question is, if we rewrote the question, try in the chat, rewrite the question as a single question. I'll try and do it too, because I haven't done this before. See if you can rewrite this into a single question. So I would start with, is it a good or bad thing that people think it is important to wear is. Okay, getting increased is not correct. You'd have to say increasing. Increasing. Okay, and what kind of development? To be society, social development, what kind of development in Mohammed? Okay. Yeah. We're really talking about, so remember, we're looking for those keywords. So increasingly important. This is part of our, remember, we've got to look at what's our background information. Is this first sentence part of the question, or is it part of the background information? So there's no question. We're not being asked to whether or not more and more people are finding it important. We're being told that they are, right? Yep, that's our background information. Excellent. So, and the vital words in here, whenever there are descriptives, especially if there are superlatives, but things like increasingly important, okay, that's going to be one of those words. All right, that's the attitude that we're talking about in the question there. Is the idea that wearing fashionable clothes is important a good or a bad thing? Okay, excellent. So, what do you think? Do you immediately have an idea of what you think about this, or do you need to start thinking of ideas first and decide later? Both are legitimate ways of starting an essay. And now that we're thinking about this question, so if people are finding it increasingly important, what are some words for what they're experiencing? Social influence. So these are some really good words. We can start with some vocabulary. Influence. How about social pressure? Self-confidence. Exactly. Excellent. Some other ideas. If you've got an idea, considering increasing deeply. Yeah, that's Ali. That's a really good assessment of the question. Excellent. Okay. So what are some of the things? What do you think? If you've already got an idea, if you read this and immediately go, oh yeah, this is fabulous. I think everybody should feel this social pressure to wear better and better clothes, you know. Uh, Maybe you think that. Um, Maybe you don't think that, but you know you could write a good essay about it. So what are we going to need to look for? What are the two sides of this story? Oh, social disparity. Yeah. Social and disparity. How about economic? Yeah, economic differences. So remember, we're going to need to find positive aspects, right? And negative aspects. Okay, because these are going to be our two sides. Economic strain. Yeah. And I'm going to add the word burden. We often call something an economic burden as well. Really good. Okay. So we need two sides. We need to look at both sides of that. What's positive and what's negative, and decide what our position is going to be. So if you've got a position statement, feel free to type it in or unmute and we can have a conversation as well. So either way. So this is the point at which I usually like to make a chart. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do, there's different ways of diagramming ideas. You can put the idea in the center and make a spider diagram or a flow chart. I think for these, and because our organization time is so short, I'm going to use this example. And you can do this in the exam very easily. So if I insert a tiny little table, oops. And we can say, oops, positive and negative. Pretty straightforward, this one for organization, right? Bring this down a little bit. Okay. So which of these go into are positive? What are positive things about the pressure? Self-confidence, yes. So when you've got really nice clothes, you feel more self-confident. Excellent. Yay. Oh, look at that. You guys are organizing it immediately. I'm really pleased. Yeah. Do this keep practicing this on the way to the exam, and you are going to go through the first 5 minutes will fly by. It'll be so easy. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Excellent. So once again, I'm going to ask, do you have a position statement? What do you think? Is it positive or negative, or does it have a bit of both? What do you think overall is the increasing importance of fashionable clothing a positive or negative development? Okay, good, Sella. How would you say it? How would you write that? Try a sentence. What examples would you use? So can you think about what examples you would use for each of these. Ooh, affordability, negative. Yep, yep, very good. Yes, social pressure to those who can't afford. Exactly. Now, here's the magic. Think of a specific example. All right. So, what's an example that demonstrates the negative effect of social disparity? When you think of what is an example? When would this happen? Yes, really good. That's really good. So, um, excellent. I love that. And that is now, so what we want to do to make a note so we remember to say that, all right? we would say, we're just going to take this part, because if we write sentences, all right, if we write sentences when we're making notes, there is a danger here. And I'm never going to put a full sentence in our notes for one really important reason. And it seems there's an urge to write this beautiful sentence when you're doing the notes, and you've got to just put down the ideas. All right. If you write your beautiful sentence when you're trying to make your plan, you will end up using that sentence more than once in your writing, and it will count against you. It seems counterintuitive. You think, oh, I want to write the sentence now. I worked with someone for months and months on this. And as soon as she stopped putting sentences in her plan, she stopped repeating herself in the essay. So it's really important. Don't put a sentence yet. No sentences right now. So no more than 3 or 4 word phrase. Excellent. Okay. We need, Mehmet, it's great to use extra vocabulary, but we really need short phrases. What are you, because we want all of the ideas to be clear. So some groups, social pressure. So that would be group identity. So now let's say, so what's an example of somebody being prejudiced against someone who doesn't wear fancy clothes? What would happen in real life if a lot of people were dressed up in fancy clothes and somebody came and was dressed very poorly? What would be the experience, and what environment would that happen in? Oh, brand promotion. Okay. Okay. What's a setting where someone would feel isolated? Where's a setting? Where would it be, in a club? Are we talking about um, at a party or a club? We want to give actual examples. This is when it happened. Okay. Ooh, could be isolated or bullied. All right. Yeah. So what's an example of a setting, a situation in which someone will have this experience? I'm still looking for the concrete. In the working environment. Okay. In an office. Okay. So, okay. In an office. Okay. Excellent. Any social gathering. Excellent. Because this is what I want you to do. I want you to give a precise example. You need to think of something to say that you would that would follow the phrase, for example. If you are not wearing the expected level of fashion for the office you are working in, you won't be taken seriously. Okay. So do you see how that's a concrete example? In an office, you won't be, the person won't be taken seriously. So this is very bad because it accentuates the economic problem. Increasing mood issues, yeah. So very good. We've got some good examples. All right. Of the effects. Really good. Oh, that is really good. Very good. A sore thumb, not a sour thumb, but you're very close. Excellent. I'm going to just pop in an extra. Yep, no, that doesn't work to do it this way. Oop, I'm going to pop in an extra one. I'm going to take off our marks so we can keep going. There we go. There we go. And close this and do examples. What I want to do is pull some of much of your writing and put it on the screen. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a few things out of the chat here so that it's so we've got it. So let patience. I'm going to run up and because there's lots of these paragraphs are absolutely fantastic. There we go. I'll change the font size when I'm done copying things in. Oops. I hate it when my mouse jumps. There we go. So really, really good examples. There we go. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a terrific one for the oops, sorry about that. That's a terrific one for the other one too, Malat. I really like that. Well done. Let me just throw that into another Word document. So I want to save that. You know you can download the chat at the end of class as well. So, dear, that's the wrong one. Oh, there we go. Right. Just going to copy a few more of these. Keep thinking, keep writing. You're doing great. There we go. Here we are. And excellent. Let me keep these to this one. And then we may, there we go. I'll try and make sure I catch all of them. Because there were a lot of really good ones here. And I want to make sure they're on the PDF when we send it out. So there you go. Really well done. So good brainstorming on that. All right. We did an excellent job of brainstorming. I think we can say safely that we're all going to be taking a position that is overwhelmingly calling this a negative development. So well done. We seem to have most of our ideas. And just so that you know, when you are doing this brainstorming, when you are getting your ideas, that can drive See, even if you didn't know which way you were going to fall on this issue at the beginning, by the time you have written down all of the things you can think of and sorted it into its categories, you can see easily which one you're going to end up writing, correct? So I have two more of these for us to work on. Okay, so this will, as I said, be in the PDF as you go. Okay, so there's a couple of things, but let's try another one. All right, I really want you to see what happens if we unwrite. What can you tell about the question and the person's process by reading their essay? All right, it helps because this will show you what you're aiming for. So the first part is, this is the introduction that this person has written. So my question is, what was the question? So see if you can find all of the elements that say, is good, because the more interested you are in it, the easier it is to learn too, Lily. Well done. I'm sorry. That was you. Oh, how do I pronounce your name? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. All right. So, can you read this and tell me what question they're answering? No worries. What is the question? I'm asking you, what question is this person answering? We've taken questions apart and figured out how to answer them. Now I want you to tell me, what is the question that this person who wrote this essay, what question were they answering? What was the question? We're going inside out. We're going backwards this time. Last time we started with the question, we built out our ideas. Now we're going to figure out what this person was writing. What and how did they do it? Okay. So what was the question? Yeah. Good. Yep. Is space exploration worth the money? Excellent. And why do they suggest what? So you can see pretty clearly what the background information was. Why is it even a question? Yes, please. Please unmute. Go ahead. This can be a whole conversation. I don't need to be the only one talking. Please tell me I've got this set up so everybody can. Is it preventing you from doing so? Mm. Oh, yeah, you should be able to. Oh, Okay, no, all right. I'm sorry. Um, but you're welcome to talk as well. Please don't be shy. People will be this is only going to us. You're the only person that's going to be listening to yourself. Okay?
Oh, in
It's
that
not
case, I will
yeah.
speak if you don't mind.
Yeah, please. No, this is not being made public at all. This is a private recording only so that we can listen to it ourselves. Okay?
That is a relief to hear. It's just,
Okay.
it's a bit difficult to look at the argument and then go type and then forget it and then go back again.
Sure,
So
sure.
I think the question that this person is answering is whether space exploration is a waste of money and does it need more urgent attention, something like that.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, that's really good, Ali. That's a nice summation of it. Exactly. Really good. So, um, actually, I'm gonna add this one. Oh, what did I do? Wait a minute. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. There we go. All right. So I just want to copy that and put that on because I really like that. So, um, yeah, insert. Insert text box. There we go. Well, that made a mess of it. There we go. There we go. So, there we go. Really good. Yeah, those are all really good examples of really good examples. Do you agree or not with spending more money on, yeah, rather than devote it to obstacles people suffer on Earth? Excellent. Yes. Now you're thinking. Really good. Excellent. Oh, I like this. Um, yeah, I'm gonna pop a bunch of these up, and I'll definitely do even more when I've before I publish this. So excellent. Oh, why does it do that? There we go. Yeah, no, no, yeah, come on. There we go. All right. Those two are fantastic. I'm gonna move this up a bit. There we go. And where is he at? Do you agree with spending more money on discovering space rather than devote it to obstacles that people suffer? Really excellent. Um, really excellent examples. I'm really, those are bravo. Really good job. So, and the thing is that this is going to help you being able to do this. Oh, there we go. Oh, don't make this easy. Okay, I'll make sure that these are even clearer when I publish this. Really well done. Those are excellent, excellent summations of the question this person is answering. Bravo. Well done. Okay, let's keep going and look at how they wrote it. So now what we want to do is figure out what what was the outline? What were the two columns? How did they analyze this question? Now, this is not my favorite sentence. However, I completely disagree with this opinion for two reasons. I would say I completely disagree with this opinion because of, and I would summarize my two reasons. Okay? At least give the categories. I don't say I think it's more effective. It's my preference. But this is a fine essay, and that's an okay. That is a perfectly reasonable introductory sentence. Note that the opinion is stated in the introduction. Super important. Okay, so let me clear the marks real quick. And off we go. So now let's look at this. This is their first paragraph. This is their first paragraph. What? How did they organize this? So what are the, so we've got in that first sentence, it tells you exactly what that paragraph's going to be about. The technologies that originated with space research. And what are the two supporting ideas for this position? Okay, broadcasting weather is an example of the use of lightweight, of satellite technology. So why is satellite technology important? Because of broadcasting the weather and forecast for weather forecasting and communication, right? Weather forecasting and communication. Right. Look at those great examples. So what we're trying to do is find the things that they wrote down in their plan. So yes, follow global events as they happen. Give populations warning. Right? So that's it. Weather forecasting and communication. So we're looking for the things exactly. We're looking for the things that they wrote down when they were planning. You've got it. Really good. What was in their plan? Heat protection? Yes. Food preservation? Awesome. Two examples of materials. Excellent. And what is this last sentence doing? It's restating the first sentence and linking to what it does is linking to our opinion that space is worth the money, right? That's linking to that opinion. And that connection is what boosts your score. Okay? Absolutely. So there we go. Excellent. All right. So we're going to race through this a little bit. So let me just clear the screen again. Here's the second paragraph. Once again, let's find what What did they use? What is this paragraph about? What was their second paragraph about? What did they write down to plan this?
It's about uncertainty about the future of the Earth.
Yeah,
So we need space exploration for our needs in the future.
exactly. So
Mm.
once again, we're looking for the things that they wrote down to what did they write down in their plan so that they would know what they were going to say when they started writing. Okay. Okay. So when they were jotting down ideas, when they were putting the ideas together, this is these are the things they would have written down in their plan. If you look at this, yeah, Planet B for the future. Yeah. I, you know, you don't have to agree with the idea, but yeah, there you go. Um, so there we go. What we're looking for here are what were the words they jotted down in their plan at the beginning to make sure that they were able to write this. Okay. And if you think about it, if you just had these words on a piece of paper, could you rewrite this paragraph? Right. And last of all, but I'm going to add, um, I'm going to add at this point. So this is the conclusion here. And let me change the annotation. You will see this is really a summary of everything that's said before. And making sure that it's very clear how the argument was built. All right. So once you've got all those ideas, so where are all the ideas? The ideas are in those middle paragraphs. So that's what you're aiming for. I made a outline for this, which looks, here, I'll just put it on this page, which looks like this. Hopefully. Yeah, it's too big. And bring it down. And there. Well, actually, no, here. Down here. Much better. There we go. All right. So I'll make sure that you've got that sorry, the outline. And the outline is basically the same thing as another way of organizing the chart that we did. Excellent. That's a good paraphrase. Well done. All right. So I'll put this on a page where you can actually see it in the not too distant future. Here, let me see if I can make this happen. Yay, there we are. All right, so there's my assessment of how this worked out. Oddly, it's being problematic with the font sizes, but so this is something that you can do with all of the essays on the IELTS academic website. Look at them, take them apart. How did they do it? Okay, that will be, it's a really good exercise. So beyond that, for the rest of today, I've got a couple of lists here of words that help you say more. These are the words that will give you extra points in coherence and cohesion because it links things together. So your challenge is take a look at these words in these 2 pages. When you get the PDF, go back into the essay and see how many of them you can find. All right. Generally, take a look for the writing. I really recommend you use the prompts at this website. They're very helpful and they have good examples like this. Last of all, any questions? Oh, yeah. So
Jane,
last of all, yes.
I have a question. Yeah, if is it better to use active or passive? For example, if it is halted or if we halt it.
Ooh, that's good. That's a really good question. I've put the WhatsApp group here in the list again. We can keep talking about these things there as well. There's a meeting starting in 4 minutes, and I'm going to have to end this very quickly. Both voices are good. I think being consistent is important. Passive voice is always good for academic writing, so it's encouraged. But when you're presenting an opinion, you can say, we must do this for the sake of mankind. It would not be would be an okay sentence for that. So, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
all. Yep. Thank you all so very much. You've been absolutely fantastic. Really terrific work today.